In this video, I want to show you the basics of how to export a UV map from Modo and then import that UV map into Photoshop so we can do our texturing. As you can see here, I just have a basic model of a crate, and I've already gone ahead and created the UV maps. Now to export this UV map from Modo, the first thing we want to make sure is done is make sure that our UV map over here in our UV map list is selected. Now once that's done, we go to the top of the screen where it says Texture, and we're going to choose Export UVs to EPS. When you click on that box, you're going to get a little Save As, and the computer's going to ask you to name your little UV map, and we're going to save it right there on my desktop. I already have one created, so I'm going to replace it. Now let's jump over into Photoshop real quick, and we're going to open up that UV map that we just exported. There it is. Let's just open that guy. Now, when you hit the open button, you're going to get this new window, the Rasterized EPS format. What this is asking you to do is the computer wants to take that vector image, that vector EPS UV map that we just exported from Modo, and is asking us what size do we want the bitmap image to be. Now, since we're working in computer graphics and 3D models, we are going to work off of 1024 by 1024. We need to work off of images that we can divide or can be divided by 2. The resolution we're going to keep at 72, but more importantly, my computer, the default is set to open up a new image in a CMYK color space. Now, if I was a print designer or maybe working doing like brochures or something like that, or big posters that were going to be printed on billboards, then I would use the CMYK color space. But for us as 3D designers, we're going to be using the RGB color space. Let's go ahead and click that. And 1024 by 1024 resolution, we can keep at 72. And the RGB mode is going to be set, the mode's going to be set to RGB. Here we go. Alrighty. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, on the surface, it looks like nothing's really happened. But if you look very, very closely, you can see some small, faint lines. That's the UVs. Out of habit, one of the things that I almost immediately do to see our UVs a little bit more clearly is I go over here to the Layers palette, and if I double-click in the dead space in the Layers palette, way over here on the right, if I just double-click, I want to get my Layers style menu, and I'm just going to stroke all of those pixels, maybe by like 1 or 2. Maybe 2. I think 2 is good. And I usually give it an outrageous color so that it's a little bit easier for me to see. There we go. And if I double-click on the text, I want to rename this UVs just to keep my scene organized. And then there we go. Now we can see our UV map.